I am the only wolfless human in the Blackwood pack. While my pack celebrates in the grand ballroom downstairs, I'm hiding in my hotel room. I'm 24 years old, and my inner wolf never came. To them, I am a ghost. Drowning my sorrows in cheap vodka, I grab my phone for a distraction. My vision is blurry, but I think I'm texting my best friend, Cameron.
I need a distraction. Send me something hot.
The reply is instant, a single question mark. She's playing coy. The alcohol makes me bold.
Don't play dumb. Either send me a hot warrior or be one. I'm in room 1501.
I toss the phone aside, laughing at my own desperate plea for attention. A few minutes later, a heavy knock echoes at my door. It must be Cameron, here to drag me out of my misery. I swing the door open with a sloppy, drunken grin on my face.
Did you bring the...
But the words die in my throat. It is not my friend. It is not room service. It is Alpha Declan Blackwood. He looms over me, a titan of muscle in a loose black robe that exposes his hard, tanned chest. His scent of rain, pine, and pure, raw power chokes the air from my lungs.
Alpha?
His dark eyes are swirling with a predatory hunger I have never seen before, and it is aimed right at me. Before I can explain the text was a horrible, drunken mistake, he moves. His hand shoots out, grabbing the back of my neck. He doesn't ask. He takes. He crashes his lips against mine in a searing, possessive kiss of raw dominance. He marches me backward into the room, kicking the door shut with a slam that seals my fate. He presses me down onto the mattress, his heavy body caging me in completely. Panic flares, but a dangerous, desperate thought cuts through the haze. He's the alpha. He's probably drunk. Tomorrow, he'll wake up and forget the wolfless girl in room 1501. But for tonight, for this one night, I can pretend that I matter. I stop fighting. I wrap my arms around his neck, and pull the storm down on top of me. I wake up in a strange bed, the silk sheets cool against my skin. A heavy arm is draped over my waist, pinning me to the mattress like an iron bar. My breath hitches in my throat as I slowly, carefully turn my head. It's him. Alpha Declan Blackwood, the leader of our pack, is asleep beside me. Cold, sharp panic cuts through the lingering haze of alcohol in my brain. I'm a wolfless, an omega who scrubs floors to pay for my mother's medicine. I just slept with the alpha. For this crime, for contaminating him, I could be exiled or even killed. I have to escape this room before he wakes up and sees me. With the precision of a bomb technician, I lift his incredibly heavy arm. He grunts low in his throat, and my entire body freezes solid. I wait until his breathing evens out again, then slide off the bed. My legs tremble as I grab my dress and heels from the plush carpet. I take one last look at the scratch marks on his shoulder marks that I put there and I flee. I book a new room, using 2 weeks of grocery money for a sanctuary. In the shower, I turn the water scalding hot, scrubbing my skin raw.
Get off me. Get his scent off me.
I find the text I sent him last night. I'm in room 1501. I delete the message, the call log, I delete every trace of what happened. The next morning, I force myself into the hotel lobby for a training seminar. The glass doors slide open, and Alpha Declan walks in with his guards. He wears a sharp charcoal suit, his face a mask of cold, indifferent authority. He strides right past me, heading for the exit, and I almost collapse with relief. But then, just as he reaches the door, he stops. He doesn't turn around, but his voice cuts through the deafening silence.
Find out who was registered to room 1501 last night. Bring her to me.
Suddenly, the chatter dies and the air grows heavy with power. My blood turns to ice as my friend Cameron gasps beside me.
1501? Anya, wasn't that your room? 1501? Anya, wasn't that your room?
My friend's words explode in the silent hotel lobby. Every single head snaps in my direction. He turns slowly, his movements deliberate, like a predator. Near the exit, the most powerful man in our territory, Alpha Declan Blackwood, freezes. His dark eyes lock onto mine, filled with a cold, terrifying fury.
You stupid girl. What did you do?
My manager, Danny Hill, barrels toward me, his face pale with terror.
The Alpha wants to see you. In his suite. Now, I'm not losing my position because a wolfless decided to play games.
He stares for a long moment, then turns and walks out without a single word. He shoves me violently toward the elevators.
No, please, Mr. Hill, I can't.
You don't have a choice. You go up there and beg for mercy.
He grabs my arm, his fingers digging hard into my flesh. He throws me into the elevator and hits the button for the penthouse. The doors slide shut. I'm rising alone to my execution. I stand before his suite, my hand trembling. Before I can even knock, the massive door clicks and swings open on its own.
Close the door.
I step inside a massive, cold room made of black marble and glass. I obey. The latch clicks shut like a prison lock. Alpha Declan stands by the window, his back to me. He is shirtless. He turns slowly, his eyes like ice.
So, this is the wolfless who thinks she can summon her alpha for a night, then scurry away, like a frightened mouse.
He stalks toward me, backing me against the solid wood of the door. He grips my chin, forcing my head up to meet his furious gaze.
You smell like fear and cheap soap. You tried to scrub me off you. Tell me, what did you hope to gain by warming my bed?
Alpha Declan Blackwood glares down at me, his chest heaving with rage.
I wanted nothing from you.
He shoves my chin away like I've burned him.
Get up.
I scramble to my feet just as my boss, Danny Hill, rushes into the suite.
Alpha Blackwood, I am here as you commanded.
Declan doesn't even look at him.
Take her. Get her out of my sight.
But as Danny grabs my arm, Declan turns. The air grows heavy. He's using his alpha's command.
Never again offer up a member of my pack like a piece of meat. Or you won't even have a pack. Go.
Danny yanks me out of the room. But the moment the doors slam shut, his fear turns to pure rage.
You useless, wolfless bitch. You almost got me killed.
He shoves me hard against the wall.
I didn't do anything. You sent me here.
You're done, Carol. You are fired.
My world shatters.
Please, my mother's medical bills. I need this job.
Not my problem. I'll make sure no one in this pack ever hires you.
He leaves me ruined in the hallway. 30 minutes later, I'm packing my bags when my friend Cameron calls.
Anya, are you okay? I'm so sorry. This is all my fault.
He hates me, Cam. He thinks I planned it all.
He's an idiot. But, Anya, I heard a rumor. The Alpha, he's been celibate for years.
I freeze.
They say he found his fated mate a long time ago. He's waiting for her.
My heart stops. I remember the ink on his collarbone. The numbers, 0825. August 25. It wasn't a birthday. It was an anniversary. To him, I wasn't just a mistake. I was a betrayal of his vow to the woman he truly loves. I'm hiding in a cheap motel on the edge of the city. This room is a world away from the Alpha's penthouse. But all I can see is the ink I saw on his skin last night. It has to be her birthday. Kristin Larsen, his destined mate. A woman worthy of a king. Not me, the wolfless nobody he just fired. Suddenly, a blinding pain splits my skull. It feels like an ice pick is being hammered into my brain. I collapse on the bed, clutching my head. This isn't a normal headache. Someone is trying to force a mind link. Declan. Just as suddenly, the pain vanishes. My phone vibrates on the nightstand, its screen cutting through the darkness. An unknown number.
We are not finished.
My blood runs cold. He's not chasing me because he cares. I'm the mistake that could tarnish his reputation with his true mate. He wants to threaten me, to silence me for good. My fingers tremble as I type a desperate reply.
Last night never happened. Don't worry.
I don't wait for an answer. My thumb finds the button on the screen, and I press it. Block contact. The numbers, 0825. August 25. He's hunting me because I'm a loose end. I finally block his number, thinking the nightmare is over and I'm finally safe. But just as I exhale, my phone rings again, and it's not him. It's my boss, Danny Hill. My hand trembles as I accept the call, a knot of dread tightening in my stomach.
Mr. Hill?
That's sir to you. Carol, I'm calling to make sure you understand you're fired.
His voice is dripping with poison, confirming my worst fears. I've lost my job.
I'm already gone, sir. I'm at a motel.
My spare uniform, my worn-out jeans, my only nice dress, nothing.
Good, But you're not done. I need the Shadow Creek acquisition files. Elara needs them.
He's talking about the most sensitive merger our pack has ever handled, a file worth millions.
If those papers aren't on my desk in 20 minutes, I will make sure you are blacklisted from this entire state.
He promises to personally ruin my life, ensuring I can't even get a job as a dishwasher. Before I can even protest, he hangs up, leaving me in a cold, panicked silence. If I lose that file, he won't just blacklist me, he can have me thrown in jail for corporate espionage. I leap from the bed and throw my battered suitcase onto the mattress, tearing the zipper open. My heart hammers against my ribs as I frantically dig through my few belongings.
It has to be here. Please, please be here.
The thick blue folder is gone. It's not here. I dump everything out, creating a pathetic mess of my life on the dirty motel floor. I check my purse, shake out my coat, and search every single pocket again and again. I freeze, staring at the chaos around me as a horrifying memory floods my mind. I see the morning sun streaming into his penthouse apartment, room 1501. I see myself scrambling to gather my clothes while he watched me with those cold, golden eyes. I remember grabbing my bra from the nightstand in a hurry. And I watch in my mind's eye as the blue folder slides off the table, falling unseen to the floor. I left it there. I left the most important document of my career in his room. The blood drains from my face as I look at my phone, at the number I just blocked. The bridge to my old life is a pile of ash, but the key to my future is on the other side. To save myself from ruin and prison, I have to walk right back into the lion's den. I have to knock on the door of the powerful man I just rejected and beg for his help. I step onto the Alpha's floor, my heart pounding. A man blocks the door to suite 1501. It's Heath Jacobson, the Alpha's beta. He looks like he's carved from stone.
Miss Carol, you shouldn't be here.
He's a human wall. There's no getting past him.
Please, Mr. Jacobson, I left something inside.
He looks down at me, his eyes cold and calculating.
The Shadow Creek files. It's a matter of life and death for my career.
The Alpha is not to be disturbed, especially not by you. Not tonight.
I just need the folder. I don't even need to see him.
I'm about to beg again. But then, Heath freezes. His entire body goes rigid. His eyes glazing over. A chill runs down my spine. He's using the mind link. He's speaking with Declan. A moment later, he blinks. And the connection is severed. He looks at me now with a strange, unsettling respect. He steps aside from the door.
The Alpha will see you now.
My heart hammers against my ribs like a trapped bird. With a shaking hand, I push the heavy door open. The moment I step inside, his scent hits me. It's a storm in a bottle. Ozone, wet pine, and dark earth. He's standing by the window, his back to me. It's powerful, terrifyingly masculine, and it makes my knees weak. And then I see him. Declan. His sleeves are rolled up, revealing powerful forearms. He hasn't moved, but I know he can feel me here.
I stand frozen just inside the Alpha's doorway, my hand still on the knob, ready to bolt. All I need is the blue folder I foolishly left on his desk during my last mistake.
I didn't mean to intrude. I just need the folder. Then I'll disappear.
Declan turns his movement slow and predatory, and his golden eyes pin me to the spot. He takes a single fluid step towards me, his gaze hungry and intense, like a wolf cornering a rabbit.
A folder? From the night a wolfless girl summoned her Alpha to her bed, only to scurry away like a frightened mouse.
The shame is a physical heat, burning my cheeks bright red as he twists the knife of my own actions.
I was drunk. I sent that text by mistake. I don't remember anything that happened.
I can't meet his unblinking stare as he stops just a few feet away, his presence suffocating the air from the room.
You don't remember. How convenient.
Please, sir, just give me the file.
He ignores my plea entirely, walking right past me to the wet bar in a casual stinging dismissal that hurts more than his words. He pours a glass of water, the sharp sound of liquid hitting crystal, echoing in the tense silence between us.
My investigators tell me your mother, Marie, has been on the transplant waiting list for 3 years.
I freeze solid, the blood draining from my face and leaving my skin feeling icy cold.
Congestive heart failure, stage 4. She doesn't have much time left, does she?
Leave my mother out of this.
He finally turns around, holding the untouched glass of water, his expression cold and terrifyingly calm.
The state insurance won't cover the specialist she needs, but I can.
My breath hitches in my throat as a cruel, sharp sliver of hope pierces through the layers of my fear.
I can have the best cardiac surgeon in the country fly in tonight. I will cover the surgery, the recovery, the meditation, everything.
Why? Why would you do that for me?
He sets the glass down on the counter with a deliberate, sharp clink before walking towards me again. His steps measured and final. He stops right in front of me, looming over my smaller frame. His scent of pine and raw power overwhelming my senses. He leans down, his face just inches from mine, his golden eyes burning into my very soul as he delivers his terms.
Marry me.
I stare at him, my mouth falling open in disbelief as the entire room begins to spin around me.
What?
You heard me. I need a wife. You need your mother to live. We can be at the courthouse tomorrow morning.
This isn't a proposal. It's a golden, deadly trap. And he holds the key to my mother's life in one hand and my freedom in the other.
The Alpha Declan Blackwood, Declan, stands down at me. He does give me an impossible command.
You will marry me.
Time calls out my sword. I'm wolfless. I can't be respond. I do talk the first way I can see time.
I can't. I have a boyfriend.
The air in the penthouse instantly freezes. There comes nice doctrine. The people swallow everything. My silence tells me everything we need to know. He steps into my space with proper physical force.
Who?
My mind is blank. I will no one. I can't name a soul. The single word is an Alpha's command, and it shapes me to my bones.
Lying to an alpha is a dangerous game, Miss Carroll.
He doesn't even bother to pretend he believes me. He turns away and sweats as if he moved from his guest.
Sign this, and your mother lives. Now get out.
He throws it untouchedly in front of me. It lands with a any side. My fingers tranquilize at the shoulder.
You have until tomorrow morning to end it with him, whoever he is.
As we go on, my mouth rubbing against the lips. I lean against the wall in the wall with trying to breathe.
There you are. I don't care what you were doing. You've caused enough trouble tonight.
I jump. It's my manager, Danny Liu, and he looks serious. He storms toward me, sucking the steams from my face.
Where are the Shadow Creek files? The Alpha is going to fire all of us because of you.
I asked to step looking straight, only to be told that is serious sound.
My ex-boss Danny corners me in the hotel hallway.
You left the contract in his room. You useless bitch.
He grabs my arm, his fingers digging into my flesh. I try to pull free, but his grip is like iron.
Go back in and get it, or I'll make sure you never work again.
Suddenly, a low guttural growl rips through the air from inside. Room 1501. It doesn't sound human. A voice follows, a deadly whisper that cuts right through the door.
Take your hands off her.
The sheer power in those words freezes Danny in place. The color drains from his face, leaving him pale with terror. He shoves me away as if I'm on fire. Without another word, he turns and runs for his life. I'm left alone, shaking. The man who just threatened to ruin me. Now he's protecting me. 30 minutes later, I'm back in my cheap room, staring at the marriage contract. I call my best friend, Cameron, my voice cracking.
He'll pay for my mother's surgery if I marry him.
There's a sharp intake of breath on the other end of the line.
Anya, listen to me. It's a trap. He's an alpha.
Her voice drops to a panicked whisper. Her words hit me like a bucket of ice water.
He's supposed to marry the Alpha King's daughter, Kristin Larsen. You're just a placeholder wife.
A placeholder. A secret nobody he can use and discard when his real queen arrives. Of course, it's the only thing that makes sense. I hang up the phone, my eyes landing on my phone's lock screen. It's a picture of my sick mother, smiling before the illness took her light. Declan Blackwood is a monster, and this marriage is a cage. But looking at her face, I know the trap has already snapped shut.
I'm staring at the contract that makes me his placeholder, my finger hovering over the screen to delete his number. But before I can, my phone lights up. It's the hospital. It's past midnight. Miss Carroll? This is the ICU at Pac General. You need to come. Now. The drive is a blur of panic and smeared streetlights. I find her behind a wall of cold glass. I burst through the doors of the intensive care unit, the air thick with the metallic smell of death. My mother, Marie, looks impossibly small in the massive hospital bed. Tubes snake from her body like twisted vines, and a machine breathes for her. The doctor, Dior Evans, finds me staring. His face is grim.
What happened? She was stable just yesterday.
Her heart is failing, Anya. Rapidly.
He tells me the medication she's been on for the last month wasn't what he prescribed.
It was a generic substitute. A cheaper alternative.
My blood runs cold.
Substitute, but the PAC insurance is supposed to cover the very best.
Someone authorized a switch. It wasn't effective. The damage is done.
His next words shatter my world.
She won't last the week without a transplant.
A transplant? Okay, please put her on the list.
But he just shakes his head with pity in his eyes.
Because she is human, she is tier 3 on the donor list. She'll never get a heart in time.
He tells me there is only one other way to save her life. But the cost is astronomical. A private specialist in Switzerland can perform the surgery immediately.
It's $1 million. They require the full amount up front.
$1 million. The number hangs in the air, an impossible, suffocating weight. I'm a wolfless waitress, living in a rundown motel. I have nothing. My mother is dying, and I have less than a week to find a fortune I'll never see in 100 lifetimes. The doctor's words hang in the sterile hospital air.
I'm sorry, Anya. There's no other way.
My mother needs a new heart. Immediately. The cost is $1 million. Money I will never have. My fingers tremble as I dial the only person I have left.
Anya, what is it? What's wrong?
I collapse against the wall, the cold linoleum floor a shock to my system.
It's Mom. She needs $1 million, Cam. $1 million.
I hear the rustle of sheets as she sits bolt upright in bed.
Listen to me. I have 20,000. My grandmother left it to me. Take it. Take it all right now.
$20,000. It is everything she has in the world. But it is not enough. It is not even close.
It's not enough, Cam.
So this is it? Our punishment for being wolfless.
Her question hits me like a physical blow. In this world, power is the only currency that matters. And I am completely bankrupt. A terrifying calm washes over me, drowning the grief.
Keep your money. I know what I have to do.
I hang up the phone before she can say another word. I force myself to stand, my body heavy as stone. Through the ICU glass, I see my mother's fragile chest rise and fall. $1 million. A deal was offered to me by one man, Declan Blackwood. I thought his proposal to be his placeholder wife was a trap, a gilded cage. I was wrong. It's not a trap. It's a lifeline. I turn away from my mother and walk towards the city skyline. In the distance, the Blackwood Hotel pierces the night like a dark obelisk. I'm not going there to negotiate. I'm going there to surrender. I stand on the penthouse floor of the Blackwood Hotel. I came here to sell myself. To save her. Before me are the double mahogany doors to his suite, number 808. Behind this door is Declan Blackwood, the alpha who holds my mother's life in his hands. I can't face him. Not after I spat on his offer. I can't stand to see the triumphant smirk on his face. I raise my hand to knock, but it freezes in the air, shaking violently.
Coward.
I back away from the door, retreating into the shadows. My fingers fumble as I pull out my phone. I navigate to my blocked contacts list. His name stares back at me. I press unblock. My thumbs hover over the keyboard. I type out the two words that are a death sentence. For my freedom.
I accept.
I hit send before I can vomit. And then, I wait. 1 minute passes. Then 5. I stare at the screen. Until my vision blurs. 20 minutes crawl by. There is no reply. No typing bubbles. Not even a read receipt. The truth hits me like a physical blow. I'm a discarded toy. Unworthy of even a glance. He knows I'm here. Desperate and broken. And he's letting me stew in it. He's making me wait. The humiliation is suffocating. I turn and flee. I find the doctor in the ICU hallway.
She's holding on.
But his face gives me no comfort.
I contacted the specialist in Switzerland, Dr. Weber. He's ready to fly out immediately.
A wave of relief washes over me. I can finally breathe.
That's incredible, thank you.
However, there's a condition from the PAC medical board.
He holds up a clipboard, his expression grim.
$1 million. The full amount must be in the hospital's account before he boards the plane.
The air leaves my lungs. He hands me the financial agreement form. It feels heavier than lead.
I'm sorry. No deposit, no surgery. We need confirmation by tomorrow morning, or we lose him.
Before, but I'm still getting the money.
I stumble into a cold, concrete stairwell, clutching my silent phone. He's my only hope. And he's ignoring me. As if mocking me, my phone suddenly vibrates. Please, I beg. Please call. An unknown number. My heart hammers against my ribs as I swipe to answer.
Hello?
I'm met with a heavy silence. I can hear someone breathing on the other end.
Declan?
A deep, smooth voice finally cuts through the static.
Who is this?
He knows exactly who I am. With those 3 words, he erases our past. He reduces me to nothing. I realize this isn't a negotiation. This is me, on my knees, begging for scraps. I stand in a sterile hospital corridor, my phone pressed to my ear. Alpha Declan Blackwood. On the other end of the line is the one man who can save my mother.
Who is this?
His voice is ice. He knows exactly who I am. This is a game to him. I squeeze my eyes shut, fighting back the bile in my throat.
It's Anya, Anya Carroll.
Anya. And why are you calling me? I thought my proposal was repulsive.
He throws my own words back in my face.
I made a mistake. I wasn't thinking clearly.
Is that so? And are you thinking clearly now?
I look through the glass window of the ICU. My mother's chest barely rises and falls. A machine breathes for her. The monitor beeps, a countdown to her death. I have no other choice.
Yes, I accept. I accept your offer. The marriage, all of it.
The line goes silent. He makes me wait, twisting the knife. But then his tone sharpens.
Good.
His voice is cold, clinical. There is no victory, only satisfaction.
But the terms have changed.
My breath hitches in my throat.
Changed, but...
You lied to me, Anya.
He knows. He knows about the desperate lie I told to protect myself.
You told me you had a lover.
The Alpha I'm being forced to marry is on the phone. My blood runs cold. He's talking about my other lover.
Silence. I do not share what is mine. If you want that money transferred to the hospital, you will remove him. Tonight.
His voice is an absolute command. It forces my mouth shut against my will. The man I told him I was in love with. But he isn't real. I made him up to try and escape this fate. Now, my lie has backed me into a corner.
And I want proof. A text message, a recording, a voicemail. I don't care. I want to know that when you stand beside me, you are completely, irrevocably mine.
He wants evidence that my imaginary boyfriend is gone forever. I slide down the cold concrete wall, my body trembling. How can I provide proof of a breakup with a man who doesn't exist?
Declan, please, it's complicated.
You have until sunrise. Send me the proof. Your mother's life hangs on your ability to clean up your mess.
He cuts me off without a second thought. He says until he sees it, the funds for my mother's doctor remain frozen.
Wait.
He completely ignores my desperate plea. The line goes dead. I stare at the black screen, the silence rushing in.
We meet at the courthouse at 9 a.m. sharp. Come alone. And Anya, Don't make me wait again.
He gives me one last, chilling order. I have to conjure a heartbreak out of thin air. I am digging my own grave. I open my messaging app, my fingers hovering over the keypad. There is no one to text. No one to call. I stand on the cold stone steps of the courthouse. My phone is in my hand. I push open the heavy doors and step inside. I look at the fake breakup texts I sent to a man who doesn't exist. A sacrifice to prove I am no one else's. He's already there. Declan Blackwood, dressed in a black suit that looks like armor. He doesn't smile. He just watches me walk toward him.
You're on time.
He leads me into a small, windowless office.
I had no choice.
There are no flowers, no rings, no family. This isn't a wedding. It's a business deal. A board judge waits for us.
Do you, Declan Blackwood, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife?
I do.
His voice isn't a promise. It's a claim. The judge turns to me. The words get stuck in my throat. But then I picture my mother, lying in her hospital bed. Her life depends on this moment.
I do.
The judge pushes a document in front of us.
Sign here.
I sign my name, feeling like I'm signing away my soul. The second the ink is dry, Declan pulls out his phone.
It's done.
He doesn't even look at me.
The funds have been transferred. Your mother's surgery is scheduled for this afternoon.
Relief hits me so hard my knees almost give out. But Declan doesn't move to help me. He just turns on his heel and walks out the door, leaving me all alone.
I follow Declan out into the blinding daylight. He stops beside a black Maybach, waiting at the curb.
I should go to the hospital for my sister.
I look at the ground, my face burning. But before he can speak, my stomach lets out a loud, humiliating growl.
I'm fine. I ate before I came.
He steps closer. His presence overwhelming.
Lying seems to be a habit of yours, Anya.
His voice turns to steel.
Get in the car. We're getting something to eat.
It's an Alpha's command. My body moves on its own, obeying before my mind can protest. I hate the control he has over me. Inside the car, I press myself against the far door. The driver is Heath, Declan's beta, his second in command. Declan's phone buzzes, and he seems to enter a mind link. His eyes glazing over. The silence is suffocating. Heath catches my eye in the rearview mirror.
You must be pretty special.
Excuse me?
My heart skips a beat. I look at Declan's cold profile as he stares out the window.
I've never seen the Alpha walk out of a negotiation with the Silver Moon Pack before. He almost started a war yesterday when he couldn't reach you on the phone.
A war over a missed call?
He's an Alpha. He protects what's his.
I force myself to accept the truth.
It's not about me, it's about ownership.
Heath's eyes widen in the mirror, but he says nothing. I am now the most expensive possession in my husband's collection. The silence at this dinner is a weapon. Across from me, my husband, the Alpha Declan, dissects his steak. I have to prove I'm more than just the payment for a debt. He pauses, his fork hovering in the air.
I reviewed the Shadow Creek files. The deal is clean. It's a solid acquisition.
Slowly, he sets it down. He pulls a folded map from his jacket and slides it across the pristine tablecloth.
Look closer.
I lean forward, confused.
The property lines are clear. I don't understand.
The river.
He points a long, sharp finger at a blue line on the map.
Trace it back to its source.
My own finger follows the line into the mountains. His voice drops, filling the space with ice.
It's just water. The environmental report said it was safe for human consumption.
For humans.
He tells me the river's source flows through a deposit of silver ore. The water carries trace amounts downstream. Silver, a poison that burns werewolves from the inside out.
The Silver Moon Pack didn't sell that land for money, Anya. They sold it to poison my people.
My blood runs cold. I saw numbers and laws. I completely missed the war being fought in the shadows.
I didn't know.
No, you didn't.
He leans forward, his dark eyes trapping mine.
You look at the world like a human, but you belong to me now. You will learn to see like a wolf. We'll go back to my place after this. You can get your things tomorrow.
Your place?
My estate.
Do we have to live together right away?
The air around the table drops to freezing. My new husband calmly sets down his wine glass. He turns his head slowly, his eyes locking onto mine. My heart hammers in my chest. Panic claws at my throat. I was hoping for some distance, sometime.
You are my wife. My Luna. You will sleep in my bed. In my den. That is not a question.
He leans forward, invading my space. His words crush the air from my lungs. It's not a request. It's a law. In the car, I press myself against the door, trying to be as small as possible. Suddenly, a sharp pain blooms behind my eyes. I look over. Declan's jaw is tight. He is using his mind link. He is ordering someone to do something. The Maybach pulls through massive iron gates to a fortress-like estate. As we stop, a man is already waiting on the steps. Heath. Heath walks to Declan's side of the car. He doesn't say a word. My stomach drops to the floor. I know that logo. He just reaches into his jacket and pulls out a small, white paper bag. It has a green pharmacy logo on the front. I know what they sell in bags that size. Declan takes the bag and turns to face me. His expression is blank, efficient, and terrifyingly calm. He holds up the bag, the preparation for our wedding night. He is ready. And I have nowhere left to run.
The heavy doors of the estate slam shut behind me. The sound is like a prison cell locking. He strides into the massive living room and throws a white pharmacy bag on the table. Declan doesn't give me a tour. The morning after Peel, the final part of our transaction, he turns to me, his eyes cold, inspecting his new property.
Go shower.
He gestures down a long dark hallway.
Master suite. Second door on the left. I want the scent of the city washed off you.
He means the scent of my freedom, the scent of the life he just destroyed.
Yes.
I grab my bag and flee, his eyes burning into my back. I feel like a sacrifice being dressed for the altar. In a bathroom larger than my entire apartment, I scrub my skin raw. I put on the black silk robe he left for me. The master bedroom is freezing. I climb into the center of the massive bed and pull the covers to my chin. And then I wait. Hours later, the door finally creaks open. Declan enters, wearing only a pair of loose pajama pants. His hair is damp, and his bare chest is a wall of muscle and scars. The sight of him steals the air from my lungs, but it's his scent that overwhelms me. Rain, pine, and raw power. He stalks to the side of the bed. I squeeze my eyes shut, bracing myself for him to claim what he paid for. The mattress dips under his weight. I feel his heat radiating over me like a furnace. His breath goes against my ear, sending a shiver down my entire body.
On our wedding night, when was done, the Alpha Declan Blackwood leans over me in the dark.
Open your eyes, Anya.
I did, staring up into his eyes, without sorry, with terrified, controlled anger.
I don't share.
His losses look all that seems to set the entire room, the poem soul allowance.
And I certainly don't take what another male has already touched. Not on our first night.
My breast tightens in my throat because we are within it. My stupid lie. He thinks I'm not wooden, that I was with a human boyfriend. That's just disable.
Turn around.
I quickly roll onto my side. This is really from a monster. I just married, not that it's dividing me, and then already, puffed forward, slits on my wrist. He yanks me back against his chest, my body pressed flush, against his loud muscles. He buries his face in my bag, it made me deeply as if. He owns my merry scent.
Sleep.
That's his so recommend, whispered against my skin. If only not completely still. He isn't going to rob me, but he isn't going to let me go in. I'm trapped in the airport on the most dangerous man in the city. The next morning, I wake to a cold, empty bed, and to end in sunlight streaming through the window. For a moment, I forget where I am, that when the sentence can. Principle present that I am married, I am this, but then I meant something else. entirely unexpected. The unmistakable warmer fled me brewed coffee, and sizzling they confused me that. My curiosity wins out over massive, and that quick sound we don't know all day. I stopped getting the dog in the kitchen, my brain refusing to process what I'm seeing. Main case, the Alpha Declan Blackwood. The man who quarries his enemies without a second thought. But he's not a monster at all. He's barefoot, wearing dress pants and a cat t-shirt. And he is standing at the stove, come with looking at that. When a spectre.
There's coffee in the pot. Bacon's almost ready. Sit.
He doesn't even turn calm, just points the spectre toward the stool at the counter. The most terrifying man I ever met is making me breakfast. And I'm not sure what to feel. Mr. Sir, domestic sin is so wondiness. Name the sin I sent last night.
I slam my fork down on the marble counter. I can't do this. I can't play house with this monster. The city's most feared Alpha, Declan, watches me from across his kitchen.
I want a timeline.
His dark eyes lock onto mine, cold and unreadable.
A timeline?
I grip the counter until my knuckles turn white. I brace myself for his anger, for him to remind me that he owns me.
For the marriage. You paid for my mother's surgery. I signed the papers, but I need to know when this transaction ends.
But he just tilts his head, a predator studying its prey.
What do you propose?
1 year. I'll play the part of your wife for 1 year, then we divorce. Quietly.
The silence stretches, thick and heavy. Then, a low rumble escapes his chest.
1 year. Agreed.
I blink, stunned. He agreed. Just like that.
You agree?
He pushes off the counter and stalks toward me, his movements fluid and terrifying. He stops right beside me, leaning down until his lips are inches from my ear.
But a lot can happen in a year, Anya. Make sure you're ready for the consequences of what you ask for.
His scent of rain and forest surrounds me, making my heart hammer in my chest. Before I can respond, he pulls away.
Get dressed. We're going to the hospital.
Now I'm trapped in the back of his car, pressed against the door. The air is heavy, suffocating. I just made a deal for my freedom in 1 year. But his warning echoes in my head, and I realize my sentence might have just gotten longer. I'm in the back of the Alpha's car, with his beta, Heath, driving. A sharp pain suddenly spikes behind my eyes. It's the static of a mind link. They're talking to each other, a conversation I can't hear because I'm wolfless. The link breaks, and Heath glares at me in the rearview mirror.
He's risking a war with the elders. For you. You know?
His words are a slap in the face.
What?
Heath.
But the beta ignores his alpha.
The council wanted him to marry a pureblood. By choosing a wolfless nobody, he's spitting in their faces.
I didn't ask him to choose me.
Enough.
The car falls silent, but the damage is done. I am a problem. A burden.
Fine. But you'd better have a plan, Alpha. Because she's coming back.
I feel Declan stiffen beside me.
Kristin Larsen is back from Europe next week.
My heart stops. Kristin Larsen. The perfect alpha female. The one everyone says is his true match.
The elders expect you to host her welcome dinner. They expect you to announce the union.
I finally understand. My 1 year with him was never real. He doesn't even look at me. I was just a placeholder. A warm body in his bed until his real queen returned. I turned to Declan, desperately searching his face for a denial.
Noted.
Not a denial. Not a defense. Just a cold, administrative word that seals my fate. Tears burn my eyes as I turn to the window. The real mistress of this story is coming home. And I'm just the trespasser about to be evicted. I walk into the Blackwood PAC's medical facility. The cold air smells of antiseptic and death. Every nurse I pass bows their head. They can smell the Alpha King scent on my clothes. They aren't bowing to me. They're bowing to him. When I reach the ICU, my heart stops. My mother is awake.
Mom, thank the goddess, you're awake.
I rush to her side, grabbing her cold, dry hand. But she doesn't smile back at me. Her sharp eyes focus on me with a terrifying intensity.
Anya, the doctors said my surgery is tomorrow. They said everything is paid for.
Yes, it's a miracle. You're going to be okay.
Her grip on my hand tightens, surprisingly strong.
$1 million, Anya. Where did you get $1 million?
My smile falters.
I borrowed it.
From who? No bank would lend us a dime. Who? Anya.
A friend.
Don't lie to me.
The heart monitor beside her spikes, beeping wildly.
Is it a wolf? Did you go to the pack?
Panic floods my chest. I can't let that happen. So I blurt out the first thing that comes to mind. If I tell her the truth that I sold myself to the Alpha King for a year, she would rip out her IVs and choose to die.
I have a boyfriend.
The lie hangs in the air, suffocating us both.
He's wealthy. He lent it to
I show my mother the receipt for her life-saving surgery. But instead of relief, I see pure horror in her eyes.
A boyfriend paid for this. A wolf.
I can only nod.
No, Anya, you give it back. You give it back right now.
Mom, please.
Her words are a knife in my gut. She's repeating the exact same fears my new husband planted in my mind.
Do you think he loves you? They use women like us. They use us until they find their true pure blood mates.
Fears about his true mate, Kristin Larsen.
He's not like that. He cares about me.
He will discard you, just like your father threw us away for a she-wolf. You are just a placeholder, Anya.
I can't take it anymore. The tears finally break free.
Stop it. I know, but I can't lose you, Mom.
I collapse onto her bed, my voice muffled by my hands.
I'm scared of being an orphan. You're the only person I have in this world.
Her anger finally melts away. I see my chance. I have to sell the lie.
It's a loan, just a loan. I promise to pay him back in 1 year.
1 year. The exact length of my marriage contract. The expiration date on my life as Mrs. Blackwood.
1 year.
She closes her eyes, defeated.
Be careful, my baby.
Her next words send a chill down my spine.
The debt you owe a wolf is never just about money. It costs pieces of your soul.
She's right. I've already sold my freedom. I just pray I haven't sold my heart to the man who is destined to throw me away. In the quiet hospital room, my mother's grip on my wrist is bruising. Her eyes are wide with a terror that has nothing to do with her illness.
You think you're safe with him because he has money?
I try to pull away, but she holds on with desperate strength.
Your father smiled too, but the moment he smelled a real she-wolf, I was nothing, just a pet. A powerful wolf will never choose a wolfless over a pure blood. He will discard you, Anya. Just like I was.
She yanks me closer, her voice a blade. Her words burn through me. I want to scream that she's wrong, that Declan is different. But I can't. Because deep down, I know she's right. I am not his choice. I am his contract.
I have to go to work.
I flee her warnings and drive back to the Alpha's den. I need the medical transfer forms for her surgery from Declan's locked study. With trembling hands, I dial his number.
Speak.
I'm at the house. The study is locked.
Keypad. ACO 825.
The breath catches in my throat. AC. My initials. Anya Carroll. 0825. August 25 th. The date tattooed on his collarbone. The day he met her. His true love. A wave of nausea rolls over me. He combined my initials with her anniversary. It's the ultimate humiliation. He's branded me with another woman's memory.
Did you get that?
Yes.
I hang up before he can hear my voice break. My fingers feel numb as I punch in the code. The lock clicks open with a mocking beep.
I'm in his study to get the medical files for my mother, but another folder on his desk catches my eye. It's a draft for a welcome gala. I flip it open. Guest of honor, Kristin Larsen. My heart stops. My expiration date is set. Hours later, the front door slams open downstairs. Heavy footsteps thunder up the stairs, moving fast. The study door flies open. It's Declan. He looks terrifying. His shirt is unbuttoned, and he smells of rain and fresh blood.
You're still here.
I was just leaving. I have the files.
You lied.
He stalks toward me, his eyes like a storm.
What are you talking about?
The hospital. You told your mother you had a boyfriend.
He backs me against a bookshelf.
I had to. She wouldn't accept money from my husband.
He slams his hands on the shelves on either side of my head, trapping me.
You would rather invent a lover than claim me?
It's a contract. It's not real.
It feels real enough right now.
Before I can breathe, his mouth crashes onto mine. It's not a kiss, it's a punishment. He tangles a hand in my hair, forcing my head back. He's not kissing me. He is marking me, reclaiming his property. And I realize, with terrifying clarity, I'm not a placeholder. I am his prey.
Declan slams me against the bookshelf. His lips close mine, and his scent warms me. I push against his chest, but he's immovable. I can't breathe, I can't escape. Then I look into his eyes and realize the truth. He doesn't see me. To him, Anya is a substitute. My disforce to his collarbone, to me income his skin. A date, 0825. Not that he might bar. I can't fight his body, so I decide to tap his word. When I saw old man one, I twist my blood, and I bat bone, hot, wet on the second numbers. He freezes instantly. A shock breaks from his sword. It's not a sound or number, it's pain. His grip laminates and his tumble step, land flying to the mount. He says a word when pure shock.
Hugh.
I slide down the wall, gasping for air.
Please, no more tonight.
He stares at me, his chest screaming, his expression unreadable. Without a word, he turns and storms into the bathroom. The door slams shut, I give a short start. 20 minutes later, the door opens again, and cutting my blood and through my hair, ready for a fight. Declan notices, wearing a weird white silk robe. He sees me, and crystal tattoos. His hair is red, and the shouting his eyes past him replaced upon fury.
I stand before him, my hands shaking as I grip a folder, but I force myself to be professional. Just minutes ago, I was trembling on the floor, terrified of him.
Regarding the gala, I need your approval on the seating arrangement.
He stares at me as if I'm speaking another language.
I am your assistant. This is my job.
You were on the floor 10 minutes ago, and now you want to discuss seating charts?
He lets out a frustrated sigh and presses a button on his desk.
Send dinner to the private dining room. Now.
We sit in a small dining room, a feast of crab and lobster between us. His cold eyes lock onto mine.
We eat, then we talk.
The silence is suffocating. I can't bring myself to eat. Suddenly, he speaks, giving me actual advice for the gala.
Put Elder Thomas at my right hand, not the left.
I'm shocked by his help. He then cracks a huge crab leg and places a perfect piece of meat on my plate.
Eat. You're too thin.
The gesture is so normal, so kind. A small bit of hope sparks inside me. Maybe this can work.
Thank you for the advice and for stopping earlier.
I offer him a small tentative smile.
I think if we just stick to the schedule.
But his hand shoots across the table, locking around my wrist like steel. The air leaves my lungs. The kindness in his eyes is gone. It's replaced by a terrifying, predatory hunger.
So much dedication to your little contract.
He leans in so close. I can feel his breath. His voice a low growl.
You promised, in the study, you stopped.
My blood runs cold. He never agreed to anything.
I stopped because I needed to wash your scent off me before I lost control. The night is far from over.
Danny Hale 意外获得人生回溯能力，他试图利用这份神秘力量挽救即将到来的职场危机。第一次回溯，他试图改变一个关键的决策，成功了。危机似乎被化解，但随即他发现，身旁原本放置的文件不翼而飞。每次改变过去，现实中重要的人或物就会消失。他反复回溯，又反复失去。这种等价交换的规则让他深陷恐惧。终于，他成功保住了工作。晚宴草案也顺利完成。他想与搭档分享这份喜悦，然而原本在身后的搭档却查无此人，仿佛他从未存在过。巨大的代价让他陷入了绝望。此时，手机收到一条匿名短信，冰冷的话语将他推向深渊。代价才刚刚开始，这预示着什么？等价交换的恐惧才刚刚拉开序幕。
I stare at my computer screen, my heart pounding with excitement. Then, 2 words flash in bright red. Rejected. My project, my one chance, is rejected by Alpha Command.
No, this has to be a mistake.
He gave me this task himself. Panic grips me. I snatch the desk phone and dial. The private line he gave me. The one for emergencies only. This is an emergency. His voice is a low growl, cold and distant.
Report.
Declan, it's Anya, the Sunstone Project. It's been rejected. You promised me this was my chance.
There's no mistake.
The warmth he showed me just days ago is completely gone.
The pack needs the resources for the northern border. Circumstances changed.
But the jobs, the people I promised. I was counting on this.
I gave you a task, not a promise. I am an alpha, Anya. The pack's survival matters more than the feelings of my assistant.
But...
Do not call this line again, unless the house is on fire.
He hangs up. The line goes dead. I stand frozen, the receiver, pressed to my ear. In his place is the monster everyone warned me about. The man who looked at me with such hunger, who touched my wrist so gently, is gone. He didn't just reject my project. He rejected me. Again. I look back at the screen, the red letters mocking me.
I was a fool.
I thought I was a player in his game, but I was just a pawn, sacrificed without a second thought. The phone line goes dead. His voice echoes in my head.
Do not call this line again.
His words hit me like a punch, but I refuse to accept it. I close my eyes, desperate to reach him with my mind.
Declan?
It's like slamming into a wall of steel and ice. Blinding pains glows in my skull. I double over, gasping for air. Warm blood trickles from my nose. I'm wolfless, broken. Suddenly, my office door slams open. It's Danny Hill, the pack manager. A smug grin is plastered on his face.
Well, I heard Alpha come and shut down your latest charity project.
He snatches the project file from my desk and drops it straight into the trash.
You're just a wolf string on our resources, Carol.
Get out.
Don't you dare speak to me like that.
He leans over me, his voice a low threat.
By the time I'm done, you'll be lucky to be scrubbing twice in your mega quarters.
Leave her alone, Danny.
My only friend, Cameron, rushes to stand between us.
She's bleeding. Can't you see she's hurt?
Danny just laughs, a harsh barking sound.
She's not hurt. She's weak. Danny's pack, weakest failure.
He looks at me one last time, his eyes full of disgust.
Pack your things. You won't be needing this office much longer.
My friend Cameron rushes to my side, dabbing at my bloody nose.
Anya, what happened? Did he hit you?
I push her hand away, feeling hollow and scraped clean of hope.
No, I did this to myself.
Suddenly, my terminal beeps. An urgent message. It's from Heath, the Alpha's beta.
Bring the Zuquan files to the Alpha's den. Immediately.
My blood runs cold. The Alpha's private estate.
I have to go. It's an order.
Heath drops me at a massive iron gate and just drives away. I walk up the path to a fortress of glass and dark stone, hidden in the forest. His scent hits me first rain, pine, and a raw power that makes my knees weak. The heavy front door is unlocked. I push it open and step inside.
Alpha Blackwood?
The room is cold, empty, and silent. But on the oversized leather sofa, a woman stands up. She is tall, blonde, and breathtakingly beautiful. And my breath stops when I see what she's wearing. A black silk shirt. Declan's shirt. It hangs loosely on her frame, unbuttoned at the top.
You must be the new assistant.
Her blue eyes scan my messy appearance. A slow, knowing smile on her lips.
I'm Kristin Larsen.
Before I can speak, a deep voice drifts down from the loft. It's Declan. He's on the phone, his tone cold and detached.
Don't worry about the girl, Heath. She's just a substitute. A substitute until the shift.
A substitute. The word hangs in the air, suffocating me. The files slip from my numb fingers, hitting the floor with a loud slap. Kristin's smile widens. I was never a partner, just a placeholder for the true Luna.
The word echoes in the silent room. Substitute. It shatters the last piece of hope in my chest. I look up and see her. Kristin Larsen. She wears my face, but hers is flawless. She watches me with the eyes of a predator. Her voice is a sweet poison. She turns and calls up to the loft, where Alpha Declan stands watching us.
I'm back now, Declan. We can face this together.
Together. That one word confirms it all. I was the interruption, the placeholder. Declan sent. The very air in this house suddenly feels like it's suffocating me. I have to get out. Now.
My apologies. It seems the Alpha is occupied.
I don't dare look up at him. I just turn and flee. The ride back to the pack house is a complete blur. I collapse into the chair of my new sterile office, my body trembling uncontrollably. I was a fool, a wolfless girl who dared to dream she could be something to an alpha. Suddenly, a searing pain explodes behind my eyes.
Aka!
It's a blinding, white-hot agony. I clutch my head, crying out as the pain intensifies. It feels like my skull is being ripped apart from the inside.
A sharp pain drills into my temples. It's a mind link. An alpha's mind link.
Anya.
My wolfless brain can't handle the raw power of the assault.
Stop. Please, just stop.
His voice booms inside my head, full of static and agony. The psychic attack suddenly ends. I'm left gasping for air, a fresh trickle of blood running from my nose. Just then, my phone buzzes on the desk. It's a text from him, from Alpha Declan.
Be at the den after your shift.
The audacity of the command hits me like a physical slap, and he still summons me like a dog. He has his real Luna, Kristin, back in his arms. I can't do it. I can't look him in the eye. He has the woman he chose over me. Wearing his shirt in his home, with shaking hands, I type out a desperate line.
I apologize, Alpha, but I must visit my mother. Her condition is unstable.
I hasten, praying he'll be too busy with his perfect Luna to care. But the reply is instant and cold.
We will discuss the Zucron acquisition. Do not be late.
It's not a request. It's an order from my Alpha. He doesn't care about my mother. He doesn't care if I'm hurt. To him, I'm just an assistant he needs for a business deal. A new feeling hardens in my chest, a loose end to be tied up before he starts his new life. Fine, I will go to the den. I wipe the blood from my lip, the metallic taste mixing with pure bitterness. I will deliver his damned files, and then I will vanish before he can break what's left of me. I punch the code into the heavy steel door of the Alpha's den. There is no answer. I step inside, clutching the Zucron file to my chest like a shield. Declan emerges, and my breath hitches in my throat. The air is heavy, thick with the scent of pine and blood.
Alpha Blackwood, I have the files you requested.
Only the sound of heavy prowling, footsteps coming from the shadows. He is not the polished CEO I know. He is shirtless, his skin glistening with sweat and grime. A dark smear of drying blood is on his shoulder. His eyes are pitch black. His wolf is at the surface, agitated and feral.
The acquisition strategy. I thought we could go over that. I was with my mother. I told you.
You blocked me.
His voice is an accusation that vibrates through the floor.
You ran.
Before I can blink, he closes the blink. Distance between us. He slams me hard against the cold wall. The file slips from my numb hands, paper scattering across the floor. The impact knocks all the air from my lungs. Before I can even gasp, his mouth crashes down onto mine. It isn't a kiss. It is a punishment. I press my hands against his heart, chest, but it's like trying to hold back a landslide. A roar explodes in my mind, so loud it makes my vision blur.
Mine.
Tears prick my eyes. I'm just a substitute. He is using my body to wash away the scent of whatever battle he just fought.
Declan, please.
My plea only fuels his fire. When I wake up, the smell of him It's everywhere, suffocating me. I wake up to an aching body and a cold bed. The space beside me is empty. He's gone. Of course he is. He got what he needed. Now he's gone back to her, to Kristin. As I get dressed, a sharp pain spikes in my temple. It's Declan's voice cutting into my mind.
The loan company list is in your email. And stop blocking our link. It's becoming difficult to reach my wife.
Wife? He still calls me that, even after I saw him with another woman. The cruelty is a game he always wins. I don't reply. I just run. At my office, I try to draw myself in paperwork, but my hands are shaking. My friend Cameron finds me, leaning against the doorframe.
You look like hell, Anya.
I have to know why an alpha would do this. I tell her I have a friend in a difficult situation.
She's with an alpha, but he has someone else, a true equal. Yet he keeps coming back. To my friend. Why?
Cameron's face softens with pity, and it makes my stomach turn. She looks me directly in the eyes, her voice low.
Powerful alphas. Their inner wolves are beasts. Anya, when their true mates bond isn't complete, the beast gets restless, violent, even. Sometimes they need a pacifier, a temporary vessel to mark with their scent, to calm the wolf down.
A pacifier. The truth hits me. Kristin hasn't shifted. Their bond isn't sealed.
It grounds them. It's not about love, it's about primal need, survival.
Until then, Declan needs a substitute, a release valve. That's all I am to him. But then, Cameron leans forward, her nose twitching. Her eyes lock onto mine, sharp with suspicion.
Anya, this friend of yours, does she smell like pine after a storm?
我的朋友 Cameron 靠在我的办公桌前，他的眼睛眯了起来。我看到了前一晚的闪回。
你朋友的这个强大的 Alpha 伴侣束缚，像长老们说的那样，有那么折磨人吗？
Declan 把我按在墙上，他存在的那种压迫感，
他令人窒息。
话语脱口而出，他的眼睛立刻变得锐利。
令人窒息 ，Anya， 这听起来太私人了。
恐慌涌上我的胸口，我说的太多了。我猛地站起来，抓起一个文件，在我们之间形成一道屏障。
他就是这么形容的。看，我的走了，要和 Alpha Blackwood 见面。
我跟你一起去，你不该独自会见一个流氓商人。
不，我能处理好。
我不能让他发现真相。他的寻呼机嗡嗡作响，最后他离开了。我逃到了人类城市，一座玻璃和钢铁大厦里的会议，42层。一个男人坐在长桌的尽头，下巴上有一道锯齿状的疤痕。Floyd McGee， 一个发迹的流浪者。我把 Alpha Blackwood 的合同推过桌子。
麦基先生，如果您能看一下第3页的报界。
他甚至没有看那些文件，他只是向后靠，把他的昂贵鞋子搭在桌上，然后冷笑。无魂者这个词充满了恶意。
伟大的叔父尔巴库竟派一个无魂者来替他办事。
我的心跳剧烈，但我抬起了下巴。
他是找不到真正的狼了，还是他根本不尊重我，连个边摊都不派？
我不会让他击垮我。
我的身份与这项交易的条款无关。
The rogue alpha, Floyd, stands up from the table. He sneers down at me. He turns to leave.
I don't do business with pets. Tell your alpha to come himself.
I panic. I can't fail Declan.
Wait, please, just read the terms.
He stops, a twisted smile spreading across his face.
Begging? I like that.
He walks right up to me, cornering me against the wall.
Maybe there's another way to seal this deal. Little wolfless.
I shove him back.
Don't touch me.
Instinct takes over. I bring my knee up hard, into his groin.
Or what?
He lunges and grabs my wrist in a crushing grip.
You bitch.
His fist connects with my face like a sledgehammer. I crash into the wall and slide to the floor. He grabs me by the hair and starts dragging me. But then, boom, the conference room doors are blasted off their hinges. It's Declan. A figure stands in the doorway, radiating pure power.
Take your hands off her.
But this isn't the man I know. This is an alpha ready to kill. His eyes are glowing, a lethal, luminous gold. He sees Floyd's hand tangled in my hair. The temperature in the room plummets to absolute zero. His voice is a physical shockwave. A voice rips through, the silence filled with absolute power.
Take your hands off her.
It's an alpha command. The force of it shakes. The entire room, my own legs gave out, and I slide down the wall. The rogue holding me, Floyd McGee, releases me like he's been burned. He doesn't even look at the rogue on the floor. He collapses to his knees, shaking in absolute terror. Declan is a blur, crossing the room in an instant. His burning gold eyes are fixed only on me.
Anya.
He crouches and gently scoops me into his arms. I lean against his chest, breathing in his scent of rain and dark pine. It smells like safety. It smells like home. He radiates pure violence, but his touch is impossibly gentle.
Stay with me.
At the edges, I try to obey, but darkness is pulling me under. But then, a voice echoes in my mind. It's not spoken aloud. It's his thought.
Brennan, Zukun Corporation, 42nd floor. There's trash here that needs to be taken out. Make him understand what happens when someone touches what is mine. I want his wolf to scream.
My mind reels. How can I hear him? I'm wolfless. This is impossible. Before I can question it, the darkness takes me. I wake to the steady beep. Beep. Beep of a monitor. I try to shift, but a sharp pain explodes in my jaw.
Careful.
My eyes snap towards the sound. Declan sits in a chair, in the shadows, watching me.
You have a hairline, fracture on your cheekbone, and a mild concussion.
I wake up to a pounding headache in an unfamiliar room.
I'm sorry. I think I passed out.
My boss, the billionaire Alpha Declan Blackwood, watches me from a chair. His expensive suit is gone, his sleeves are rolled up, and he looks exhausted.
You took a direct hit from a male wolf, Anya. You're lucky your neck wasn't snapped.
The memory of failing my first solo assignment crashes over me, and shame burns in my gut. I have to restore our professional boundary, to remind myself of my place. His face is like stone as he stares at me with unreadable eyes.
Thank you for your help, Alpha Blackwood.
The temperature in the room plummets as he shoots to his feet.
Alpha Blackwood.
He stalks toward the bed, his shadow looming over me as his voice drips with disdain.
Is that what you think this is? A business transaction? A performance review?
I shrink back against the pillows, confused and terrified by his sudden aggression.
You walked into a predator's den alone, a wolfless. What in the world were you thinking?
I was just trying to do my job. I wanted to prove I could handle it.
To who? To me. I don't need you to handle rogues. I need you to be safe.
He slams his hand against the wall right beside my head, the sound echoing like a gunshot. I tremble, waiting for him to fire me, but when I look into his eyes, I don't see disappointment. His hand on the wall is shaking, his pupils blown wide with a mix of rage and fear. I see raw, unfiltered terror. The realization hits me harder than any punch. He wasn't angry I failed, he was terrified I was going to die.
Declan.
The sound of his name breaks the tension, and his entire body slumps in relief.
I'm sorry. I won't put myself in that position again.
His gaze softens as he stares at the bruise on my cheek, the silence between us now charged with something new and dangerous.
Get some rest. We're leaving in the morning.
He sits back down, crossing his arms, making it clear he's staying to watch over me. And as I drift to sleep under his watch, for the first time, I don't feel like the broken, wolfless girl. I feel protected.
I wake up in an unfamiliar bed. A heavy arm is wrapped around my waist, caging me. It's Declan. He's holding me like he owns me. For a single, terrifying moment, I feel safe, but a cruel voice in my head shatters the illusion.
You are a wolfless, a stand-in.
This one isn't for me. He's not holding me. He's holding the ghost of his dead mate, Kristin. The comfort turns into a cage. I hold my breath and carefully peel his arm off my waist. He grunts, but doesn't wake. I grab my clothes and escape to the bathroom. I splash freezing water on my face, scrubbing away he said.
Do your job, pay your debt, don't get confused.
I need to remember my place. So I go to his kitchen to make breakfast. This is a service. Servants don't fantasize about their masters. I lay strips of bacon into a hot pan. The hissing sound reminds me of the warehouse, of Floyd's hands on me. Suddenly, a drop of scalding grease spits from the pan. It lands directly on the back of my hand. A red welt forms instantly, but a deep, commanding voice cuts through the air behind me. I bite my lip, trying to stay silent.
Don't touch it.
I freeze completely. He was awake the entire time.
Searing pain shoots up my arm as hot oil splashes from the pan. A large hand wraps around my wrist. Before I can scream, a deep voice speaks from right behind me.
It's Larsen, Alpha Blackwood, just a little while.
It's Alpha Declan, barefoot and wearing nothing but sweatpants. He ignores me completely, pulling me toward the sink. He runs my burnt hand under cool water. Then he grabs the first aid kit from the counter. The moment his fingers brush against mine, a powerful shock jolts through me. He gently dries my skin and applies a soothing gel. My knees buckle from the intensity. Declan freezes, his gaze snapping up to meet mine. His expression hardens, but his touch stays gentle.
Stop calling me Alpha Blackwood when we are in my den. It's Declan.
My heart pounds against my ribs. Using his first name feels dangerous.
Okay, Declan.
He traces a small circle on my skin, sending another wave of sparks through me. Then he abruptly lets go and steps back. 10 minutes later, we sit in a suffocating silence.
Finish breakfast. We need to talk.
I know I'm about to be dismissed for ruining the Zukron deal.
The Zukron acquisition.
He leans forward, his ice blue eyes locking onto mine. I flinch, bracing for the worst.
I can succeed. I know I messed up with what, but I can send them waiting.
Anya.
His authority silences me instantly.
Do you truly want to see this through?
He's not asking about a business deal. He's asking if I'm ready to walk into the fire again.
I stare into the Alpha's cold eyes. If I say no, I'm safe. I can go back to being poor and invisible. But then, I picture my mother's medical bills. The final notice stamped in red ink. I see her fading away in that hospital bed because I can't pay. I lift my chin.
Yes, I need this job. Declan.
A flicker of satisfaction crosses his face.
Good. But you are walking into a battlefield naked. You have no wolf, no status, and no protection.
His words are a blade, but he's right.
You will. Starting tomorrow, you are enrolled in the Luna's Council training program.
I can learn.
My fork clatters onto my plate. The sound is like a gunshot in the silent room.
The what? That's for future Lunas, for high-ranking wolves. I'm wolfless. They won't even let me in the door.
They will, when I tell them to.
He stands his massive frame, casting a shadow over me. He walks around the table, stopping right behind my chair. I feel the heat radiating from him as he leans in. His lips brush against my ear.
You represent me now, Anya. I do not tolerate weakness.
His hand rests on my shoulder, his thumb pressing into my collarbone.
In exchange for this, you will remember our deal. No titles in private. Say it.
Declan.
Louder.
Declan.
Good girl.